if you're waiting. You don't have to wait for the full animation to finish. You can fire slightly before it's finished. But if you switch weapons, for example, before its hands come away, then it won't have loaded that rocket. Okay, so with shotgun, as I said before, use it for finishing off people. Use it for pyros that love to reflect, because you're only going to get yourself or your medic killed. Yeah, and just pretty much switch to it if you're out of ammo. Okay, the next one is about dealing with sentries. And sentries for assault, they're not too bad. It really depends on the nest setup and where the NG is. Now, like with most classes, if you're on your own, you're not going to take down a sentry gun if the engineer's still with it. He can repair the sentry way faster than you can take damage on it. So the best thing to do is to use your splash damage to injure the NG, not the sentry. Use a corner so you can shoot in the nest without being shot. Is there a sentry in second point, did you say, Dee?
Yeah, it is.
Go find it. Okay, so you'll use cover to make sure that you're not getting directly hit by the sentry, and then use splash damage to hit the NG, not the gun, initially. And eventually you'll kill the NG, or you'll get a crit that'll kill the NG. At this point, you spam the sentry. You only need 3 rockets and it's down. But you don't want to be in direct fire because you won't last long. So it's all about finding the spots, and it's different for each map, it's different for each NG you play against, where they set up. Well, there's nearly always somewhere where you can shoot at them from safety, and you can injure all the stuff without injuring, The other thing you can do, if the NG likes to stand in an annoying spot, you can try and get behind them so that the sentry kills the NG. Which is one of the best ways of killing the NG.
Really? You can do that?
Well, it's not the best way, but it's amusing.
Can you do it here?
So, if they've only got one side and you get behind them, the gun will turn around and shoot them through you. You'll probably die trying it, but at least the rest of the team should be able to move in and clear up. Now, the other thing you can do is you can direct yourself in the air, once you're airborne, by using the strafe keys. So you can move yourself side to side. Can I get a medic, please?
What are your strafe keys?
So, A or D.
Oh yeah.
So that allows you to change where you're going, so you can sort of go around in a circle if you get it right. So instead of just going in a straight line, you can bend like that, so you can curl around to where you want to go. That's really useful because you can, 1, avoid people firing at you when you're in the air, and 2, you can then land on the thing you intended to land on if you missed it when you launched yourself. Okay, so if we just, before we get on to the next sort of jumps, let's see if everyone's happy with that sort of jump. Anybody not happy with doing normal rocket jumps? Do you want me to have a look at what you're doing?
I'd say it's just practice, is it?
It is practice. There are lots of jump maps out there if you want to practice crazy hard jumps and some simple jumps. But it is just practice. You just get used to the timing. It's all about timing and when you press the keys and getting a feel for where you're going to end up when you do it.
I can't go around in circles.
Okay, the other sort of rocket jump is basically the same as a normal rocket jump, but instead of doing it off the floor, you do it off walls, scenery, anything else. So on that sort of jump, you go flat but really fast. It's called a wall jump. So you fire, crouch jump and fire at the wall right by you. And instead of going up really high, you go forward really quickly. Okay, so that's really, really useful for getting them out about the map quickly, particularly if you have medics on your team, because you can get to the front lines really quickly, cover long distances,